Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am Mercenary, and today we're going through the top 5 beginner-friendly nations in Rise of Nations. We will focus on countries with good expansion potential while keeping the player wars to a minimum. For example, Europe is definitely not someplace you want to start. Most of these picks will be from Africa, because as the saying goes, Africa is the best continent for learning the game. Secondly, countries with populations between 20 and 40 million are ideal for learning the game. Smaller countries tend to be a bit more advanced, and larger ones can be overwhelming. Thirdly, we'll focus on countries that have decent resources or resources close by, so you can expand and secure them. And lastly, whether a country is good for learning the game is somewhat subjective. This is just what I believe to be the best. So for the first part of the video, let's talk about the honorable mentions. First up, we have Italy. I know I just recommended avoiding Europe, but Italy is an exception. Italy is an extremely good country for learning how to handle player wars. So once you get a little more advanced and are ready to start learning how to win player wars effectively, Italy is perfect. Most of the European powers will ignore Italy until you, as the Italian player, want to be noticed. You also have mountains in the north to provide a nice defense. My second honorable mention will go to Australia. They're in a position where they almost never get invaded. They have decent starting resources, though you will have to buy some from the market, and have a perfect population for learning the game. Expansion potential is not great, but it's a really chill country for experimentation. And experimenting with stuff is always a good way to learn anything, really. Now, let's get into the top 5. Picking numbers 5 and 4 was tough because there was a lot of countries that could take these spots. However, in my opinion, these are the best 2 choices. Number 5, we have Iran. One of the main things with Iran is that it will teach you to specialize your troops. If you don't, you will move painfully slow through your own territory, and if someone attacks you, you will lose if they have the specialization. My point with Iran is to give you enough trauma regarding terrain and biomes so that specializing your troops is ingrained in your skull. This is a very important aspect of military in this game, and Iran is great for making it a habit. In terms of expansion potential, you have a lot. You can expand into the Caucasus region, the Stans, and the Middle East. There's also 2 microstates next to Saudi Arabia, very easy to take, and will give you over 75 million treasury each. There are also some early game formables you can go for. There aren't often a lot of players in the Middle East, but there are some, so you can improve your war skills with that. Iran has over 30 million population, which is on the larger side, but not too strong, so you should be able to afford some of those spending laws. In terms of resources, Iran itself struggles a bit, but your neighbors do offer what you need, especially if you go for that early game formable. And you're also in the Middle East, if I haven't already said it, so you have all of the world's oil at your fingertips. For number 4, we got Egypt. Egypt is in a somewhat similar position to Iran. The terrain and biome are not as harsh, but they're still present, so you'll have to learn to specialize. What really separates Egypt from Iran is that you'll be playing a bit more aggressively, and it's a more interesting play style. You control the most important canal in the game, which you can decide to open or close for specific people, or everyone. You can sometimes change how the entire game plays out. Be careful though, some people will attack you for them. Egypt has some really strong early game formables like the Mamluk Sultanate, and there's not really much more to say about Egypt because it can be compared to Iran. I did place it higher than Iran because I believe it is a more beginner-friendly country and it's just a better teacher. Numbers 1, 2, and 3 are miles ahead of Iran and Egypt when it comes to being beginner friendly. Let's start with number 3, Nigeria. Nigeria has a huge amount of expansion potential and almost no player threats most of the time, just the occasional colonialist coming down to West Africa. There's one formable you can get at game start basically, and another one early on, giving you a nice 20% stability total and all of those juicy cores. In terms of population, you're right on that 40 million mark, which can become an issue with spending laws. As for resources, they're all around you, mostly in the westernmost parts. Nigeria is also good for learning how to play larger countries while staying in that beginner-friendly range. I don't have much else to say about Nigeria. It really just meets all of the prerequisites well and is a very good teacher. Now, when it comes to the top 2, I won't have much to say because we already know the prerequisites and they meet them extremely well. So let's do a speed round on number 2, which is a weaker version of number 1. So number 2, I gave it to Kenya. Kenya is in a similar position to Iran when it comes to specializing your troops. It's definitely a bit traumatizing to play as Kenya. Kenya has good expansion and resource potential, an early game formable, which is the East African Federation, and no player threats around you, so you can chill and actually learn the game. As I explain rank 1, you'll understand why rank 2 is just a weaker version. They're very similar. What's the magical beginner-friendly country? South Africa. Even the official Rise of Nations wiki says this, which means the developers or the people who study the game for a living view South Africa as the best beginner-friendly nation. Why is that? Well, South Africa has 2 countries it can take over right off the bat for a quick 150 million treasury, which you can use to build up your industry or military. There's an early game formable known as the South African Union, which gives you an additional 10% stability and cores on all of that land. South Africa has a perfect population for being able to afford these spending laws and other population requiring factors in the game. It's a great teacher. You'll learn to build your factories on your most populous cities for more organic income. As you expand further north, you'll need to start jungle specializing your troops. You'll also get the trauma of buying oil to keep your tanks and navy running because South Africa has no oil. I've made that mistake a bit too many times. Also, it's not an active region, so you won't have to worry about player wars and can just chill and learn the game. And when you're ready, you can start one yourself. So thank you all for watching. I hope this helped. Be sure to like, tell me and the community your thoughts in the comments, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out. Excuse me talking for the last 15 seconds here. I really need to extend the video to 8 minutes long, that way I can put ads on it. Hey, look, I'm just being brutally honest here, alright? There is a Discord in the description. That'd be cool if you could join, but yeah. Anyways, I think we're past the 8-minute mark. Peace out, everybody. Thank you for watching.